Boss, I want to talk to you about our top 9 business car loans with bad credit. This is a $250,000 power play that I want you to really pay attention to right now. So here's a review I want you to pay attention to. Number 9, we have Truck Lenders USA. Our score, 8.1 over 10. So even though truck lenders, the name says truck lenders, they actually lend to all kinds of individuals and businesses, not individuals, businesses. So it can be an LLC, or it can be a S corporation, C corporation, not a problem. They can actually finance cargo vans, sprinter vans, everything, regular cars, not a problem at all. As long as it is a business loan, the business car loan, they'll take care of you, not a problem. So 8.1 over 10. What we love about truck lenders is that they actually have loan amounts that go from 20 grand all the way to $150,000. Loan term, 60 months. And the APR is kind of cool, 6.9% to 11.9%. And the repayment schedule is monthly, and there's no required down payments, not at all. And the time to funding, 3 to 5 days from the application time. In terms of minimum credit score, it goes from 545 all the way to 680. Okay, 545 to 680, and there is no minimum time in business. So when you think about Truck Lenders USA, this is a great business car loan with bad credit. We'll love it a lot. And the cool thing is there is no restriction in terms of annual business revenue, and there's no restriction. They actually fund all businesses located in all 50 states. Fantastic. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. Really, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. And we are going to talk about our top 9 business car loans with bad credit. This is a $250,000 power play. So number 8, we have here, National Funding. Our score, 8.5 over 10. So when you think about National Funding, I want you to think about a lender that's great for startups or business borrowers with bad credit. And the minimum FICO score with National Funding is 515 all the way to 575. So 515 to 575, this is fantastic. And so if you're trying to really, if you want to finance your business car loan, you want to finance your business car acquisition through National Funding, the maximum you can get is $150,000. Okay, and we love the fact that National Funding's eligibility criteria are less strict than other business auto loan providers. This is kind of cool. So everybody can qualify. The only thing is you have a daily, weekly, or monthly repayment schedule. Number 7, we have SVG Funding. Our score, 8.6 over 10. So SVG Funding is great for borrowers with very low credit scores. So in terms of APR, you're looking at 3.75% and up. The loan amount can go all the way to $5 million, but for business car loans, they actually will cap you at $250,000. And so the loan term goes from 1 to 10 years, and the repayment schedule is monthly. This is kind of cool. And the time to funding, 48 to 72 hours from the application. So minimum credit score with SVG Funding, they'll start at 500. This is really cool. And annual business revenue, SVG Funding wants you to have at least $120,000 a year, and that's gross income, the gross revenue rather. There are no vehicle restrictions like overall, and the minimum time in business, 6 months. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about our top 9 business car loans with bad credit, and basically this is a $250,000 power play that we're drawing today. And number 6 is Crest Capital. Our score, 8.9 over 10. So when you think about Crest Capital, I want you to think about a lender that's great for specialty vehicles, hard to finance trucks, hard to finance cargo vans, hard to finance sprinter vans, hard to finance box trucks. And so Crest Capital is an alternative lender that offers business auto loans from $5,000 all the way to $500,000, but the average is actually $250,000. And Crest, in our view, is a great choice if the vehicle you want to buy or lease will not qualify for traditional funding. For example, lenders often have strict criteria around the vehicle's mileage or age and may approve purchases from certain dealers only. So Crest has no such restrictions. It considers most new or used trucks, vans, or specialty vehicles like limos, including those sold by private parties. This is really great. So Crest Capital, in our view, is great for simple funding requirements. And so loan amounts here up to $500,000, even though the average is around $250,000. Loan term, 24 to 72 months. Repayment schedule, monthly. There's no required down payments, and you can be funded as fast as 24 hours for loans less than $250,000. Minimum credit score 550 to 650, and minimum time in business 2 years. There is no annual business revenue asked for. Number 5, we have Balboa Capital. Our score 9/10. So when you think about Balboa Capital, I want you to think about a lender that's great for same-day funding for commercial trucks, cargo vans, sprinter vans, and sedans. And so Balboa Capital is actually an alternative lender that specializes in equipment financing. It offers all kinds of commercial car loans, and the maximum amount is $500,000, even though they will cap you around $250,000. And so they do all kinds of financing, vans, flatbeds, and other vehicles. And so we love that a lot. And the lender actually can provide same-day financing after approval, letting you hit the road in a hurry. So this is kind of cool. To qualify, though, you will need at least 1 year in business, $100,000 in annual revenue minimum, and a FICO score of 520 to 620. So this is really the range, 520 to 620. And the loan term, the repayment term, 12 to 60 months. And the repayment schedule is monthly. This is kind of cool. And so this is really great. We love that a lot. And minimum time in business, 12 months. Fantastic. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm having a conversation with you about our top 9 business car loans with bad credit. And this is a $250,000 power play, and it's just fantastic. And number 4, I want to talk to you about CapitalOne. Our score 9.3/10. So when you think about CapitalOne, we love the fact that here you have an established business, an established bank. Okay, CapitalOne, even though this is not a national bank, they are available everywhere. I mean, especially they're known for the credit card offerings. This is kind of cool. And the CapitalOne business auto loans offer funding starting at $10,000, and based on our research, the maximum is around $1 million. But to actually have $1 million, you gotta be like a long-term CapitalOne business customer. Okay, so if you're interested in auto loans from CapitalOne, you can apply in person or at a local branch, or complete an online form for more information on their business products. And you must actually have or open a business checking account with CapitalOne to qualify for its business auto loans. Okay, CapitalOne wants you to be a business customer first. You must also have been in business for at least 2 years, as I said. And so this is kind of cool. But overall, great lender. Number 3, we have here PNC. Our score 9.6/10. So PNC is great for established businesses. If you're looking for an established bank for an established business, PNC is kind of cool. And the loan amount here goes from $10,000 all the way to $250,000, and loan term up to 72 months. Repayment schedule monthly. Okay, there's no required down payment. There's no down payment required, and time to funding 3 to 7 days. This is kind of cool for a regular bank. And for the minimum credit score, PNC will look at your file if you have at least 580 to 680. But if you have a low credit score, you better have a relationship with PNC. Okay, if you actually have an MPR, a multi-product relationship with them, you can qualify. Not a problem at all. The minimum time in business with PNC is 3 years. There's no amount for annual business revenue. They'll look at things based on your situation. But overall, this is a great player, and we'll love the fact that PNC can actually like, they're very flexible in terms of the vehicle. So this is really great. And yeah, fantastic. Number 2, we have Ally Bank. Our score 9.7/10. So if you think about Ally Bank business auto loans, you want to think about a lender that's really great and that really offers flexible auto leases and auto loans and no personal guarantees. So we love that a lot. And so Ally Bank offers multiple business auto funding options, including specific loans for heavy-duty trucks and vehicle modifications, sprinter van, cargo vans. This is kind of cool. And you are able, for instance, to add towing equipment also. This is really good. So if you're looking for a traditional vehicle like a passenger car, you can buy or lease through Ally. This is really cool, great. And leases and purchases can be open or close-ended. So this choice will determine how much you pay at the end of the lease, giving you some flexibility with future costs. We love that a lot. And the cool thing is, if you can qualify, Ally offers a business name only financing. This means that you may not be held responsible, personally responsible for the auto loan in instances of non-payments. So this is kind of cool. So at the end of the day, you have the opportunity to really, really, really like shield yourself from personal liability. So this is great. Number one, the best of the best, Bank of America. Our score, 9.9 over 10. So when we talk about business car loans with bad credit, Bank of America is a great choice. I mean, we love Bank of America because, first of all, loan amounts go from $10,000 to $1 million. But again, if you have to get a $1 million, you better have a strong relationship with Bank of America. Otherwise, the average, based on our research for the last 20 years, the average is around $250,000. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that, Bank of America is a national bank. They have branches in all 50 states. This is kind of cool. So, it's kind of similar to all the other biggies, Chase, the Wells Fargo and Citi. And what we love Bank of America is that Bank of America has an underwriting process that's faster. And so the APR is kind of cool. The APR is around 579 and loan amounts 10,000 and up. Loan term 48 to 72 months. This is really good. The repayment schedule monthly, and there is no required down payments, and time to funding 1 to 3 days. Okay. Minimum credit score starts at 580 to 680. So if you have 580, you basically better have a great relationship with Bank of America. This is kind of cool. And in terms of minimum time in business, Bank of America will actually start looking at your application if you've been in business for 2 years, 2 years minimum. And the annual business revenue will vary. So this is kind of fine. In terms of, now there are some vehicle restrictions with Bank of America. So the minimum vehicle value should be $10,000. The maximum age should be 5 years. And the vehicle must have fewer than 75,000 miles on the odometer. So those are really things you need to think about. Now, the reason why we chose Bank of America as the best overall provider is because it has a great combination of low rates and qualification requirements. Okay, other providers that offer lower rates often look for credit scores and larger down payments that exceed what this provider requires. So we love Bank of America a lot. And like I said, here is a bank that's basically national, so it has branches everywhere. So you just want to make sure that you have a strong relationship with the bank, either at Bank of America or through Merrill Lynch, because they have investment and deposit accounts. So this is very important. So here you have it, the top 9 business car loans with bad credit. And one thing I want to say here is that I want to quickly give you an overview here. So what are we talking about when we mention the term business auto loan? Now, business auto loan, sometimes called a commercial auto loan, is really financing you can use to buy a vehicle for your company. And these loans typically cover cars, vans, and some trucks. You'll likely need an equipment loan or commercial truck loan for a heavy-duty vehicle. And business auto loans are similar to personal auto loans. You get money to buy a vehicle and repay that amount plus interest over a set term. This is kind of cool. But there are some notable differences though. The vehicle must be for business purposes, okay? The vehicle can be in your business's name, and potential tax deductions are available. This is really, really cool. And what I want to say here is that, for qualified borrowers, some lenders will let you put a business auto loan in your company's name only. So this can protect your personal credit or assets should your business be unable to repay the debt. In other instances, you will need to provide a personal guarantee for the loan as collateral, okay? And so to actually get a business auto loan real fast, you want to actually fund the right vehicle. That means not only the type of vehicle that fits your business needs, but also one a lender will approve. For example, let's say if you want to finance a used car. Many lenders will have specific mileage limits and will not approve a vehicle that's more than 5 years old due to the depreciation. So once you actually find the right vehicle, you need to compare offers. So if your company has a relationship with a financial institution, it can really make sense in our view to see if that institution offers business auto loans. But with other types of business loans, you may pay less by shopping around. So you want to look at a lender's APR and details like how much you can finance. Okay, this is kind of important. And then you apply with a lender. Okay, and so in some cases, you have to ask yourself whether you should buy or lease a car for your business. Well, it really makes sense to lease if you need to free up cash flow. You don't want to be stuck with a car, or you don't know how you actually use the car. Okay, but remember that at the end of the day, there are some business auto loan alternatives. So you have small business loans, consumer auto loans, you have personal business loan also. So what I'm trying to say here is there are a lot of sources when it comes to getting financing to take care of like your next business car. Okay, it's really out there. You can explore all the options possible for you. Let me quickly talk to you about I want to give you a bonus here. If you're still with me, I want to give you some alternatives to business auto loans. And it's important to understand that if you are thinking about business auto loans, you can actually consider other forms of financing. For example, small business lines of credit. You can think about personal loans for business purposes. And you can even try rollover for business startups and props. And what I want to say here is that it's all about your personal situation. Okay. Now, when you think about small business line of credit, this is not a loan. This is a revolving line of credit that allows you to draw funds on an as needed basis. It can be used to fund business expenses, including vehicles, without the typical auto loan requirements, such as vehicle age or odometer restrictions. You can get started with we have a list, the list of our top best lines of credit, and this is kind of cool. And one thing I want to say here is that if you can also use a personal loan for business expenses. This is totally possible. And you also have rollover for business startups. So a ROBS is not really a loan, okay? But the thing is that it doesn't carry the typical financing requirements such as credit score, revenue, or time in business. Rather, a ROBS is a way to get access to your retirement account, tax and penalty free. So this is kind of great. But overall, what I want to say here is that it's not really that hard to get a business auto loan because since most business auto loan require the vehicle to be used as collateral, rates and qualification requirements, those loans tend to be easier to meet. This is especially true for new and lightly used vehicles. And the thing is that you can actually use other types of loans to get a business vehicle. Okay, for example, you can have an equipment loan, you can have a business line of credit, and you can have an SBA loan. Okay, and so it doesn't take that long to get into business auto loan. It takes about 3 to 1 week, 3 days to 7 days, 3 days to 10 days. It really depends on your situation. But the thing is, you can speed up the process by providing the lender with the required information on your business and the vehicle you are purchasing. And it can take lenders 24 to 48 hours to review your loan and another 24 to 48 hours to have it funded. So bottom line here is that this is kind of a cool. If you need to get financing for a business vehicle, the providers in today's roundup can provide competitive rates and flexible qualification requirements. Some offer different types of equipment financing that can also be used for other purposes besides just funding a vehicle for your company. As with most loans, the lowest advertised rates require a business to be well qualified. Since most providers also review loans on a case-by-case basis, you should definitely shop rates with multiple lenders to ensure you get the best rate you can. So really important. All right, thank you so much for your attention. I just want to quickly show you our approach when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and listing business car loans with bad credit. I want you to check this out right now. All right, number one, we have Bank of America, 9.9 over 10. Number two, we have Allied Bank, 9.7 over 10. Number three, we have PNC, 9.6 over 10. Number four, we have CapitalOne, 9.3 over 10. Number five, we have Balboa Capital, 9 over 10. Number six, we have Crest Capital, 8.9 over 10. Number seven, we have SVG Funding, 8.6 over 10. Number eight, we have National Funding, 8.5 over 10. Number nine, we have Truck Lenders USA, 8.1 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.